Hello everyone, my name is Mila and today I want to share a story about how a year ago, after a long break, I started drawing the human figure regularly again. And I'm going to show you my best sketches from this year and my art progress, because I think I've got some. First of all, I should say that I'm not a beginner artist. I have an art education. But still, throughout my life, I've drawn only from time to time with long pauses in between. For example, my last big break from drawing and painting lasted from 2020 until September 2024. That's when I finally came back to figure drawing. Coming back to drawing after a long break is always hard and a little scary. I started by finding studios in my city that hold live drawing sessions for artists and began going there once or twice a week. And my first sketches were weak and uncertain. My hands didn't immediately remember how to draw. But I didn't pressure myself too much because I knew that, just like in any other skill, it takes time to get back in shape. These drawing sessions always began with warm-ups when the model posed for 1 or 2 minutes. I'm not showing those sketches now because there is nothing particularly special about them. They're just a way to warm up before the longer poses. And the longer ones usually lasted from 5 to 15 minutes. And I must say, with each new visit to the studio and each new sketch, I could feel my confidence returning. Now I'm showing you my best sketches from this year. Of course, there were plenty of unsuccessful ones too. And a bad sketch or one I'm unhappy with often happens simply because I chose the wrong paper or the wrong pencil, or the lighting in the studio was dim, or I just wasn't feeling well during the session. It's important to keep that in mind when analyzing your work and wondering why something didn't turn out as planned. Sometimes the problem isn't in your skill, but simply in poor preparation. You just need to take note of it and prepare better next time. Although I would like to note that there were times when I went to a session tired and not in the mood to draw, but during the session everything went great and I ended up very happy with the result. Speaking of materials, I usually use graphite pencils by Koh-i-Noor and Faber-Castell. I love soft pencils like 6B and softer. Sometimes I experiment with charcoal or sepia, but graphite is still my favorite material. For a long time I used a regular office paper. I thought it was fine for sketches, but now I see that was a mistake. Once I started using heavier paper with a stronger texture, I realized how much more alive the line looks and how much richer the tone becomes. So now I try to use good quality sketch paper. Fortunately, there are many affordable but high quality sketchbooks and papers for artists available now. This year I didn't study anatomy in any structured way. Maybe I just flipped through an anatomy book on my way to a session once in a while. I think I should have spent more time on that, but even so, I feel that my understanding of anatomy has improved over the year. By the way, there are so many great anatomy resources out there now. My favorite at the moment is a book called Figure Drawing, Design and Invention by Michael Hampton. I highly recommended it. It's written in a clear and simple way with very helpful illustrations. Some people might ask, why go to a studio to draw a live model if you can just find photos or videos online and draw from those? That's a fair question, and that approach can also work. But for me, drawing from life in the studio has its own unique benefits. When you draw a live model, you don't have the luxury of changing the pose, adjusting the lighting, or pausing time. You draw what's in front of you right now, and sometimes that's a real challenge. But it trains your skills. You learn to make decisions quickly, to stay focused, because when the timer rings, the pose will change and no one's going to wait for you to finish. I've even noticed that when I see there is only a little time left, I start drawing faster and with more confidence. Another advantage is regularity. The studio has a schedule, and once you've bought a membership, you start going regularly. Let's be honest, it's much harder to organize yourself at home. Although, of course, it depends on the person. And another big plus for me is the community and atmosphere. By attending studio sessions, you get to meet other artists, see their works, get inspired, pick up ideas, and share experiences and advice. If I were to summarize my progress this year, I'd say I started with simple linear sketches and gradually moved toward working more deeply with light and shadow. That aspect has become especially interesting to me, and I want to keep exploring it, both in drawing and painting. For me, these sketches are kind of training for creating more developed pieces. Over this time, I've made several charcoal drawings of poses that lasted from 40 minutes to 2 hours. And I'll show them to you now. The first one wasn't very successful because I chose the wrong paper. The charcoal didn't adhere well at all. But once I changed the paper, everything went much smoother. Charcoal is a tricky material, but very expressive. You have to handle it carefully, especially when working on small details like facial features or hands, for example. It's easy to ruin a good part of drawing when trying to improve it. Still, I really enjoy studying this technique because it's such an interesting way to explore the relationship between light and shadow. I'll definitely keep practicing it. So, that's the result of 1 year of figure drawing. For me, this experience once again confirmed that in art, practice and consistency are everything. It's also important to analyze your mistakes, identify gaps in your knowledge, and work on them. Working on this video actually helped me with that. It made me see my strengths and weaknesses more clearly, and now I know what I need to focus on next. So, I hope my story inspires someone to get back to doing what they love, even after a long break.